In the shifting tides of the South China Sea, where every reef and island carries the weight of sovereignty, a quiet revolution is taking place in the Philippines. Not through massive purchases from abroad, not through borrowed firepower, but through the rebirth of something far more powerful: self-reliance. At the heart of this transformation lies the Philippine Navy's own shipyard, now tasked with designing a brand new landing craft. A milestone that may appear modest to outsiders, yet it represents a decisive step in breaking free from dependence and forging the tools of national defense with Filipino hands. This is not just a story about steel and shipbuilding. It is about sovereignty, strategy, and survival. Welcome to Pinoy Guard. Stay with me until the end, as we uncover why this simple landing craft may carry the future of the Philippine Navy and perhaps the fate of our waters in the West Philippine Sea. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more content on Philippine defense modernization. To understand the significance of this project, we must first revisit the long struggle of the Philippine Navy to modernize its fleet. For decades, the Navy was dependent on hand-me-down vessels, aging ships transferred from allies like the United States and South Korea. These vessels, though appreciated, often came near the end of their service lives. The Philippines operated them with ingenuity, but they were never truly our own. Landing craft, in particular, have been the workhorses of the Navy. They carry troops, vehicles, and supplies from ship to shore, essential in archipelagic defense and disaster relief. The Philippine Navy currently operates several landing craft utilities and landing ship tanks, many of which were acquired secondhand. Some of them are over 40 years old, veterans of foreign wars before serving under the Philippine flag. This dependency has been costly. Maintenance for aging platforms drains resources, while reliance on foreign suppliers exposes vulnerabilities. Every time spare parts or upgrades are delayed, operational readiness suffers. For a country with over 7,000 islands, the inability to move forces swiftly and independently is a strategic weakness. Enter the government's Self-Reliant Defense Posture, or SRDP. This policy is not new. It was first envisioned during the 1970s. But for decades, it remained more aspiration than reality. Now, under the pressure of rising tensions in the South China Sea, SRDP is being revived and accelerated. The Naval Shipyard, officially known as the Naval Shipbuilding Center, has been tasked with a bold assignment: to design and eventually build a new landing craft indigenously. This is a groundbreaking move. Unlike previous procurement programs where foreign designs were bought or licensed, this project places design authority directly in Philippine hands. Initial reports indicate that the new landing craft will be tailored for both military and humanitarian missions. It is expected to carry armored vehicles, troops, and relief goods. It will be equipped with a shallow draft to access smaller ports and coastal areas, an essential feature for an archipelagic nation prone to typhoons and earthquakes. While the exact cost has not yet been finalized, estimates for similar vessels abroad range between 1.5 to 2 billion pesos each, or approximately $26 to $35 million. If the Philippine Navy's shipyard can deliver at a lower cost while maintaining quality, it would mark a breakthrough in local shipbuilding capability. This effort falls neatly under Rehorizon 3, the third phase of the Armed Forces of the Philippines Modernization Program, covering the years 2028 to 2033. Rehorizon 3 emphasizes joint force capabilities, credible deterrence, and maritime security. For the Navy, this means not only acquiring high-end warships like frigates, submarines, and anti-submarine helicopters, but also ensuring the backbone of logistics and amphibious operations is strong. After all, even the most advanced missile systems and radar platforms mean little if troops cannot be deployed, sustained, and resupplied across the vast Philippine archipelago. landing craft play a crucial role in joint force doctrine. They allow the Navy to deliver Philippine Marine Corps battalions directly to contested islands, to reinforce garrisons in Palawan, and to project presence in the West Philippine Sea. In war, they move armor and artillery. In peace, they bring relief goods to disaster-stricken communities. By building these ships locally, the Navy ensures that replacements, upgrades, and even future variants can be tailored to Philippine operational needs. Let us now place this development in its true strategic setting, the South China Sea. Here, China continues its expansion, deploying Coast Guard ships, maritime militia, and advanced warships to enforce its claims. Philippine outposts, such as those in Pag-asa Island, are vulnerable not only to harassment, but also to blockade. In such a scenario, the ability to land troops, fuel, and supplies without reliance on foreign ports becomes critical. Imagine a crisis where foreign suppliers cut off access. Imagine a scenario where Allied support is delayed. A Philippine-designed landing craft ensures that Filipino forces can reinforce their own islands on their own terms. This is more than logistics. It is a statement of sovereignty. Each vessel built by Filipino hands, sailing under the Philippine flag, carries a symbolic weight. It tells both friends and rivals, we can build, we can sustain, and we can fight if necessary. But the implications do not end with the Navy. The design and construction of a new landing craft will invigorate the local defense industry. Shipbuilding is labor-intensive. It creates jobs for welders, engineers, naval architects, and technicians. It fosters skills that can be applied to future projects, from patrol craft to corvettes to even submarines one day. Moreover, every peso spent locally stays in the Philippine economy. If a landing craft costs 1.5 billion pesos and most of that is paid to a foreign supplier, those funds leave the country. But if it is spent at the naval shipyard, it circulates at home, strengthening both the economy and the defense base. The project also encourages partnerships with Filipino universities and research institutions, building the science and technology foundation for future defense programs. In time, this could reduce reliance not only on ship imports, but also on spare parts, electronics, and weapon systems. Of course, the path will not be without obstacles. Designing and building a warship is far more complex than constructing a civilian vessel. The naval shipyard must overcome challenges in metallurgy, propulsion systems, electronics integration, and naval architecture. Quality assurance will be critical. A poorly built landing craft is not only a waste of resources, but a liability in combat. There is also the matter of scale. One or two locally built ships will not be enough to meet the Navy's needs. A sustained program of multiple vessels, supported by proper funding, is essential. Without continuity, the skills gained may fade, and the dream of self-reliance could again slip away. Still, the risk is worth taking. Every great naval power, from Britain to Japan to South Korea, began with modest vessels before moving on to advanced warships. The Philippines must take this first step if it wishes to stand on its own. So what does this all mean? At first glance, a new landing craft may seem like a small development compared to frigates, submarines, or fighter jets. But in truth, it represents a deeper shift in the Philippines' defense strategy. This is about more than transport. It is about independence. The naval shipyard's landing craft is proof that the Philippines is beginning to reclaim control over its own destiny. It aligns perfectly with Horizon 3, strengthens joint force doctrine, supports disaster response, and asserts sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. Yes, the challenges are real. Yes, the risks are high, but the potential rewards are greater still. Each vessel built is not only a tool of war and peace. It is a symbol of national pride, a building block in a self-reliant defense industry, and a message to the world that the Philippines will no longer rely solely on others for its security. In the end, This is the quiet revolution unfolding in the docks of the Philippine Navy shipyard. The birth of a ship, the birth of self-reliance, the birth of a stronger and more sovereign Philippines. And so, as we look to the horizon, the question remains, will this small vessel become the spark that ignites a new era of Filipino shipbuilding? Only time and the seas will tell.